Today, I'm going to slap you. I'm going to slap you because you're not getting high-paying clients. And I'm going to show you how to fix this. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Aviv Benor. I'm a creative strategist. Basically, I help e-com and startup companies make more money with better ads. Over the years, I worked with clients like Intel, L'Oreal, Philips Hue, Adidas, Facebook, and many, many more. And I generated over $5 million in sales for them. I also founded Film Business Master, which is an online business school for filmmakers and creative freelancers, help them make more while working less. So without further ado, let's jump into this. The first thing I want to talk to you about is why you're not getting high-paying clients, and the second thing is how to fix this, as the title suggests. Now, the reason I'm so passionate about this topic is because you guys don't understand one thing. 95% of you watching right now thinking you can't get high-paying clients because you don't have good enough gear, your portfolio is not good enough, you're not talented enough, the economy is bad, where you're from, clients don't appreciate high-quality videos or creative work, or your niche specifically, or the market at the moment, or whatever. All those things, guys, these are limiting beliefs. And the reason I'm saying this, it's not because I think that, it's because I know that. And just so you understand, I've been coaching videographers since 2019. I had my own video production company. I used to think the same things. And over the course of the last 6 years, more than 5,000 videographers. I didn't speak to each and every one of them, of course, but I think it's more than 1,000 that I spoke to directly and helped to help. And the first limiting belief is that I can get high-paying clients because of all the things that I just listed. And it's not all of those things. It's completely different. And let's dive into it. So there's a thing called the market pyramid, and every market has this thing, right? It doesn't matter if you're doing videos, it doesn't matter if you're selling coffee, if you're selling luxury bags. Every industry has a low end, a middle, and a top to it. Let's take, for example, if I talked about luxury bags, let's talk about that. So at the top, you'll have the Prada, Gucci, Dolce & Gabbana, all those brands, right? At the bottom, you'll have all the Chinese wannabes, right? All the knockoffs. Let's talk about, I don't know, let's talk about coffee, or let's talk about, I don't know why I don't have any ideas at the moment, but I think you get the idea, right? Every market has this. And the reason you're not getting high-paying clients is because you're serving the low end of the market. So think about like this. You're creating the knockoffs, the Chinese knockoffs, but you're expecting to sell to the people who want the product. It just doesn't match. And then you're like, why can't I get the people who want the product? Well, guess what? Because you're making those cheap knockoffs. Now, I'm not here to say that your skills are cheap knockoffs, not at all. But when you work with the low end of the market, that's what you're getting. Most of you are getting your clients through word of mouth, right? Great. So guess what? When you work with the low end of the market, the word of mouth you get is the low end of the market. And that's a cycle you just can't break through if you don't stop serving them. So let's talk about the traits of the low end of the market a bit so you can understand what I'm talking about. The low end of the market, we're talking about the mom and pop shops, we're talking about the solopreneurs, we're talking about music videos. I know a lot of you doing music videos because it's the passion, but guys, unless you're doing music videos for I don't know, freaking Justin Bieber or whatever, just don't, okay? Just don't. Another thing is, a big giveaway that you're working with the low end of the market is they ask you about the price first. That is the biggest giveaway. Take note, guys. The low end of the market is about 70% of the market, of the businesses you can provide services to. So obviously this is what you see day to day, because the majority of businesses are small, are tiny. Like, we're talking about, in the US alone, there are about 35 million businesses, if I'm not mistaken, and 70% of them are like below 10 employees. That is a tiny business. I think it's even more than that, but I'm just being safe here. So, of course, that's all you see and that's all you know. And then you think, okay, in my country, clients don't want to pay. In this economy, clients don't want to pay. No, it's because the majority you're exposed to is the low end of the market. So, they don't want to pay. They will ask you for endless revisions. They will want the world from you and be willing to pay nothing for it. They will be a headache throughout the project. And at the end of it, you know, they won't be happy. And what? They will tell their friends about you. And how will they tell you their friends about you? Oh yeah, I have this video guy for you. He will do it for this and that. He's cheap, like you can take it. Or worse, they won't like your job, although you poured your heart and soul into that project. And another thing, they are very one project oriented. Let me put this here for a second. So I created a list of the common traits of the low end of the market. They care mostly about price, right? First question is how much, not results. They don't value quality. They always, you know this objection, like, I know somebody who can do it for cheaper. Yeah. They micromanage you, okay? They don't trust you, second guess everything you do, right? They want to see everything. Okay, let me know how much time this takes. What exactly are you doing here? Why you're doing like this? Yeah. They expect everything fast and cheap. They don't have a good reason why. Okay, this is a really good thing. Low end of the market clients, usually, they want a video. And when you ask them, okay, why do you want a video? They'll tell you, oh, because I want clients, or my colleagues are doing it, so I think I need to have one too, or all those reasons, without a good why behind them. When you go to a high-end client, there's a really good why behind it. We want to X, Y, Z. For example, we want to increase sales by the end of the second quarter by 20%. Because if not, then we're going to be behind, or whatever. We want to increase our brand awareness, because right now our clients are not attached, to our story. Like, there are way deeper reasons why at the top of the market. So that's another giveaway. They don't understand or care about results. Now, everybody cares about results to some degree, but the higher you go, the more focused they are about results and not about how much work you put in the thing. This is another big giveaway. Think about it like this. When you talk and work with the low end of the market, the reason they are micromanaging you is because they care about how much work you put in. And then you're drawn to quote with hours. Nobody cares. I'm talking about the top of the market. The top of the market doesn't care if you put in freaking 30 hours or 1 minute into the thing, give me the result I want. This is what I want you to understand. All you're doing with your creative business is a tool for getting your clients to the results. If your clients had an option of your services versus a button that they could push and get to the results, may that be sales or brand awareness or whatever that is, they would push a button. But that button does not exist, so they need your services. So do not mistake. The service is not the goal. The goal of the business is the goal, and your services is the tool to get there. Okay? They see you as a tool, not a partner. So you just that video guy. Okay? There's no strategic asset. And this is a big thing. Big clients see you as a strategic partner. We'll get to it. And they have this one-off mentality, like just doing this one-off project. There's no recurring thing. Okay, guys, so now that you understand that all the traits of the low end of the market, first of all, acknowledge this. They say that, solving a problem is first, like 80% of it is just identifying the problem. So what we're doing here is, first of all, identifying the problem. So now that you understand it's not all those things that you thought, all those things that you're telling yourself and the limiting beliefs, and you just understand that all your problems about getting high-paying clients is just because you're serving the low end of the market. Now let's take a look at the high end of the market. What are high-paying clients look like? What are their traits? So first of all, before I get into the list, I'll give you an example from one of my students from last week. We do weekly calls, and I watch their progress every week. And he went live with his ads for the first time, offering premium packages, retainers. And he went on 3 calls offering a 12K retainer. And across the board, none of the clients had issue with the price. None. They all talked about, okay, what is the outcome that we're getting? And that just goes to show, when you talk to the high end of the market, they don't care about the price. Of course they care, but their price objection is much higher than you think. They don't care paying an extra 5K here or there if you're getting them to the results. Especially, guys, we're talking about clients with $500,000 in revenue. It's these are peanuts for them. You don't have to go as high as $500,000 in revenue. Of course, the clients that he talked to actually were in about the 100K in revenue. So what's a 12K spending in 100K revenue if I, the videographer, I, the creative, can help you get more, right? Even like 10% more. It's worth it. Right? So that's how they see it. That's how they think. And so a big trait for high-paying clients is that they won't ask you for the price first, or even ever. Of course, they ask for the price, but like you won't sense it as like the main issue. They will talk about the value. That's a big, big, big giveaway. So let's go on to the list. They value outcomes, not just output. Okay. They trust experts. They look for experts. One of the things I talk a lot with the high end of the market. I talked to one startup company last month, and the CMO, which is the chief marketing director, he told me, when I'm looking for video production companies, the first thing I do, and of course he talked about when they want to do some high quality stuff, he's like, I'm looking for price. I want to see who's actually charging more, because then I know they're higher quality. The first thing he was looking for is who's charging more. You understand this now? Guys, the low end of the market is looking who's charging less. The high end of the market is looking who's charging more, because they're better quality. Yeah, let's continue. They want strategy, not just execution. That's a big thing, okay? They want somebody to take care of things so they won't have to micromanage them. Again, it's all the opposites of the low end of the market. It's just the opposites. So if the low end of the market wants to hold your hand and guide you through the project, they want you to just take a goal, take what they told you they want to achieve, go do the thing, get back when you're done. That's it. They want you to do the thing. Go do the thing. Bye-bye. So as I said, they pay for peace of mind. They care about brand and impact, right? Every piece of content must align with their positioning and vision. That's another deeper meaning, deeper thinking. They think long-term relationship. They respect your time. They value structure, clarity, boundaries. We did a lot of research with high-paying clients, and doesn't matter which industry or niche we encountered. Across the board, I can tell you this with 100% certainty. All of them care about speed of execution and clarity in the process. A lot of videographers and video production companies don't stand in deadlines and don't give clear roadmaps for the process. A video production process is a tedious thing. A lot of things can go wrong. A lot of things can go out of schedule. And if you don't give your client a clear expectation and you don't do this expectation management, then they will be pissed off. And we realize that most videographers and video production companies don't know how to do that good. And then they're just not happy. And so if you can just do that, you don't need to invent the wheel when it comes to the creative side, just service side, Give the client faster outcomes, faster deliveries, and show them a roadmap of like, these are the stages that we're going to go through. These are the deadlines, and then actually meet those deadlines. And you're already like above 90% of service providers, not just videographers. So just so you know that. As I said, they rarely negotiate price and talk about that. If they see value in what you give them and they believe that you are the one to get them to their goal, they pay. It's a no-brainer. They give clear goals, not a task list. So we want to grow by 30% this quarter. Make me versus make me a 60-second ad. They are decisive, fewer revisions, faster approval, better feedback. So basically the opposite of the low end of the market. You'll see this once you work with high-paying clients. They are the least needy. That's what's funny. You charge more and you work less because they're just not as needy. So it's just a win-win. Guys, most of you are not making the transition because of all your limiting beliefs, but also, here's the big thing. You're not making the transition because you're afraid of losing your existing clients and the next word of mouth. Your word of mouth is always coming, right? Maybe in the summer more than the winter. But you're afraid that once you raise your prices, because the first thing you want to do if you want to get out of the low end of the market is you want to raise your prices, you're afraid of losing clients. Guess what happens? You will lose clients. But for every 5 clients you lose and you get one client equals 5 small clients. One high-end client is equal 5 low-end clients. And then do the math, guys. It's worth every penny. But because you're scared of doing this transition, you're staying stuck in the low end of the market, and then you're making tons of small gigs instead of a few big gigs. So here's how to fix this. As I promised, 3 stages. And these stages are not something I learned somewhere. It's not something somebody taught me. It's through trial and error through the past 6 years teaching videographers and doing it myself. Okay, so bear with me. This thing freaking works. If you want to get to the high end of the market, the first thing you need to understand is your client. If you don't understand your client, you won't be able to sell them. So we have to get to know them better than they know themselves. And what I'm showing you right now, guys, by the way, it's a really good strategy to help your future clients as well. When you start working with your clients, instead of just diving into the project first, you want to understand your clients' customers. So you do research, you do it with them. It's very important. So we want to solve rich people's problem. Solve rich people problem and you'll get rich people money. That's the thing. So we want to figure out what the top of the market in your niche is starving for. So let's take, for example, let's say you're doing ads for lifestyle brands and lifestyle fashion brands. Okay, I have a lot of these videographers and video production companies, and you want to serve the high end of the market. And so first identify what is the high end of the market in your niche, how much they're making, what's the size of the business, like 100K minimum in revenue, a size of 20 employees at minimum. Like, identify those things first. Okay, great. Now you need to talk to the market. Find ways. There are many ways to talk to the market. But basically the way we do it in Film Business Master is we do it by research calls, discovery calls, however you want to call them. We're not trying to sell them anything, but we're trying to get to a call with a high-end individual, the CMO, the CEO of a certain company. And the way we do this is by telling them, hey guys, listen, we want to make the best freaking service for market. And you are the market. In order for me to make the best freaking service for this market, I need to talk to the market, and you are the market. Can I talk to you for like 10 minutes to get your advice on something? And you'll be surprised how people love giving advice. And most of those people, no one ever asks them about their opinion in this vertical. And so when somebody, and I just see it over and over again, when you do those, when my students do those research calls, suddenly these potential clients, they open up, and it transitioned from a 10-minute research call to a 40-minute psychology session where you're the psychologist and they're like your patient. And they tell you everything. And that's a beautiful thing here. So you're like, so why are you doing videos? What problem are you trying to solve? What's wrong with your current videographer or video production company you work with, or marketing company? What's wrong? What could be better? And so you ask them all these questions. A lot of time I love to ask, okay, how much would you give your current service that from 1 to 10? How much would you give on a scale from 1 to 10? And they'll tell you, okay, right now our videographer, I would give them a 7. And then you're like, okay, what will make it a 10? And then they tell you. And then you're like, okay, what will make it an 11? And guys, this is gold. This, if you didn't take anything from this video, but one thing, take this, okay? Know your customer better than they know themselves, and you can sell them anything. Not in a bad way, but they want somebody to solve their problems, right? And so here you are asking all these questions. Now you figured out what they're starving for, and you have their pains and you have their desires, and the next thing you want to do is you want to take all they told you and you want to build the top of the market offer. You want to build an offer that the top of the market will look at and will say, holy shit, this is the best thing ever. I cannot compare it to all the other offers I have on the table because it's so much freaking valuable than all the others. That's what we're aiming for, okay? And so based on the research, you build the offer and you raise your price. Guys, you have to raise your price. I'm saying this with my eyes closed. I don't know why. Maybe it's conveying more emphasis. Guys, please, let me drink a sip of coffee while you think about your prices for a second. Did you raise your prices? Okay, good. Let's move on. Okay. So now we did the research, we built an amazing offer. Now it's time to market the offer. Nobody will know about your thing if you're not marketing the thing, right? And so you cannot expect word of mouth to work here. Why? Because you're stuck on word of mouth at the low end of the market. So if you just did the offer and raised your prices, great. The only thing you're gonna get is no from the low end of the market. But the high end of the market doesn't know about you yet. So yeah, a lot of people are going to drop and you're not going to see new clients. And so we have to market this. And there are many ways to market. I'm going to touch on 3 ways that I do and I teach my students to do. So the first thing, referrals. I love to, and I call it the BBB referral system. Instead of waiting for your current referrals to activate themselves, because again, they're from the low end of the market, you don't want them anyway, you need to activate new referrals, new word of mouth. But how do you get to a word of mouth in an industry that you've never been in? That's how you do proactive measures. And so what I love to do here is I love to work with the middle businesses that have connections to my high-end clients, but they don't provide video services. And let me give you an example. A lot of marketing agencies don't do video productions. And so I come to them, to the high-end marketing agencies that give service to the high end of the market. And I tell them, hey guys, you do marketing for those clients I want to work with, but you don't give creative services. You don't provide them videos. And at the end of the day, the better videos you have, the better outcome you'll bring your clients. So it's a win-win. And so let me give you this service. You can present it as your in-house whatever. I'll give you 10% in return. And so I create a win-win situation for me and for them. And then it's their interest to sell on my service to their client, not just because they're getting 10%, but also because it will bring them better outcomes for their clients, meaning their clients would want to stay with them more. All right? So I create this win-win with the marketing agencies. You can find the marketing agencies in your niche or the equivalent of a marketing agency. It doesn't have to be a marketing agency. So this is the first thing, referrals. The second thing, which what I love doing most because I feel the most natural in, is ads. And the reason ads are so good is because they are on demand. You don't have to sit and wish for it to somebody call you, right? It's a switch, it's a button. Ads are on, ads are off. And once you learn how to make ads that generate sales for you, and you get the leads from those ads, guess what? You take those same skills and you apply them for your clients. So you're not just doing beautiful things. Now you're actually generating your clients' results. You actually generate them sales. And this is when your value goes way, way freaking up. You're not just learning how to get yourself clients. You're learning how to make your clients, sales, customers. Okay, so by far ads is what I recommend, and also what I put on emphasis in my program. Now, the last thing is content. Content is great, but what a lot of people don't understand about content is that it's a marathon. If ads is a sprint, content is a marathon. And if you can play the marathon game, go for it. But don't do all the three at once. Pick one. Again, if I have to tell you do just one, I will tell you ads. Start with referrals, do that for about a month, and then go with ads. Plain and simple. Content, you need to change a lot about what you do. It's like you have to put yourself in this mindset of like, I'm going to do content 2, 3, 4 times a week now for at least 2 years. If you cannot commit to that, don't start. I'm telling you right now, until you see one result from content, it takes a long time. Okay, so guys, this is the whole picture. Again, understand that the reason you're not getting high-paying clients, it's not because of your gear, it's not because of your talent, it's not because of your country, it's not because of the economy. It's because you're serving the low end of the market. And until you detach from the low end of the market, that's the same word of mouth you're gonna get, and you're just not gonna understand why. And so I hope this video helped you a little bit to get out of there and get at least your first high-paying clients. I'll see you in the next one. Yalla bye. Oh, and if you want my personal coaching and help, then I'll put a link to schedule a call with me down below. And yeah, let's talk. Yalla bye.